All right. Let's see. So, all right, everyone. 6:30. I'm here by myself for now, so I'm gonna warm up a little. I'm gonna show you an exercise as I wait for people to come in. I sometimes practice my scales. Well, if it's a new scale, I think I practice enough scales for my whole life. But if I'm practicing a scale, I sometimes do this. Let me see. Can you see the guitar? There you go. Here's a good way to do it. So you get a root, which if you have a looper or something, you can use any root you want. I'm just gonna use E just because I have it at the bottom, right? And let's say you know, I don't know, 3 scales, right? You know your major scale, your minor scale, and your pentatonic, right? Easy. So sometimes what I would do, especially if I'm learning something new, I would just cycle through scales, and I start with the ones that I know very well. Like that, like E major, right? Then I go to the ones that I know quite well, which if I'm a beginner, maybe minor would be a bit harder than major. And try to listen to the sound. And then I move on to the ones that I know less, right? So if I'm studying pentatonic and I'm not sure about pentatonic scales, that's what I would do next. So I would go. Right? And if I have some kind of knowledge of the theory behind the pentatonic, and I know that it's associated with the minor scale, then I would try to compare them. So maybe I'll do like a few seconds of minor, and then switch. Hello. Right, so I'm playing major, which I know very well. Then let me see, am I in focus? Hopefully it's fine in my face. And then I play minor, which is the one that maybe I'm kind of working on. And then I do pentatonic, which is like the one I know less. But I find, let me do another example. So if I play, maybe I'm starting with the modes. And this is E. Of course, again, you can do it, I don't know, when you got in, but you can do it with any note as long as you have a drone going on. So I'm just doing it with E for ease because I have this low string. So I can play, let's say for example that I know my major scale again, but I'm not too sure about the modes, right? So I can play major scale and then find the mode that I'm looking for, like maybe I'm studying Lydian, which is an F sharp. If we were in C, right? Of course now we're in E, so it's a bit different, but I raise the 4th note. And then as soon as I have that, then I start comparing with the major because I want to get the sound of the scale, not just the fingering. Fingering, nobody listens to that, right? So I would go. And maybe right at the same spot, I go to the Lydian mode, right? And then maybe I go to the Mixolydian. Right? I hear a big difference. Right? And then Lydian. So I have all these 3 scales, but I'm actually working on the sound. I'm not working on the fingering. And that's really important because, that's what music is about. It's about sound, and you should control the sound. I got a question already. Hello, Carlos and Desa. Drone means the root. Yeah, well, actually, usually it's the root. So if I have E, right, I will practice on the root. But there are ways to do drones that are not in the root. Although that's a bit, maybe it's semantics, because eventually it will sound like the root, right? But you could start, for example, you could play an E and see it as a third of C major, right? The problem is it's gonna fall back to Phrygian, which is the mode of C major that's based on E. So there aren't many ways to work on this other than having another note. So you can have a bass in C, and then you can have your drone in E, and you get this weird sound. It's not weird, but it would be if you have these two different instruments. And then you play over C, but with an E in the bass. So that's a bit different. But it's kind of cool though. It's a good exercise, and it also works with chords. Sometimes chords have different meanings depending on what root it is. So for example, if I'm playing, I don't know, like this G6, right, which is 2, 4, 3, 3. Now this G6 is a G6 only if you see the root as the top note, this G here on the third fret of the first string. If you consider another note as the root, then for example, if the E is the root, then this note now is E minor 7th. So G major 6th, E minor 7th. And you can hear it if I play with the root. This is E, right? But if I play a G, how am I going to play a G up there? Okay, this is going to be hard. Okay, I don't know if I can do this. Sorry. This is a G6. So with chords, it's actually easier to study as you propose, like having a root that's not the tonic, because then you can consider it the tonic only if you want, right? So yeah, that's a good question. So as you guys are coming in, let me know who you are, where you're from, and if you have questions, say hello, and we'll get going. Usually it takes a few minutes, but there's already a few of you, so let me know where you're from and if you have any questions, and then I will play some songs today, as you guys seem to like it last time. I actually have 2 new songs. Well, not new songs, but they're old songs, but I haven't played them before. Alex, how are you? So I'm gonna play a couple of songs that I don't know if I can play, because it's been a long time since we played live, about a year, but I brought them out last night and I played over them. So I think I'm okay. As a matter of fact, I might do that now, and then we can see if the sound is right. All right, there's not many of you, but I will just go ahead and play a song, and this is called Originator, but I hope the sound is right. I can't quite watch the screen as I play, but you let me know when it's over, all right? Hopefully it sounds good. All right. Could you guys hear it? Because I'm using a microphone and I don't know if it's all on one. Wait, I don't want to play it again. I don't know if it's all on one side or. I did a test. Yeah, I did a test earlier and I think the microphone is picking everything up on one side. I don't know what's going on. Martin. All right. So, man, oh, thanks. Well, I assume then that it sounded all right on your end. For example, me, I can only hear the guitar. The iPad has to be very low. Otherwise, I did a test earlier and it blew up the microphone. So, the count-offs, I'm like, when am I coming in? But if it sounds good, I'm not going to touch anything. And then for the next song, which I play later, it's called Planet 9. Although maybe I should play it now that I'm warm. Then I won't touch anything and hopefully it will work. Let me see if I missed any questions. Loved your gear lesson, Martin. All right, thanks. Which one have you watched the whole thing? The whole encyclopedia? That's congratulations if you have. If not, let me know which one you like best. And if you have any questions, of course, and I'll help you out. But yeah, the encyclopedia, it does have thousands or, whatever, maybe hundreds of thousands, but it really hasn't picked up as much as I hoped it would. And as you know, there's no money in YouTube, but I thought it was a useful project and that's why I'm keeping it on and free because I think it's useful. If you are starting out, and you don't have the means to find a good teacher or, you don't have the capacity because you haven't started yet, to get everything from books and stuff. I think it's a great project, if I may say so. But some videos have done really well, but other ones that are really useful, they barely have any views. So yeah, I don't know. But if you need help, Martin, with any of that, let me know and we can talk about it. And I will play a song later. In the meantime, if you guys have any questions or if I know some of you listen to my stuff, if you want me to explain a few things of a song or something like that, we can do it. So I'm going to give you a couple of minutes to send your questions in and then we'll get going. So yeah. If you haven't been watching this video, I'm at home now, so I can use the stuff from the studio. So this is my guitar. It's a travel guitar with some really crappy EMG pickups in it. And you may have noticed that that's one thing I wanted to talk about because I do get questions about pickup selection. And you see me playing, because I talk a lot about changing pickups all the time when I play, but you always see me play with the same pickup. Because this guitar has a strange system, If I want to go from the bridge pickup to the neck, look what I have to do. I have to lower this 2 steps because the first step is the split coil. Yeah, I know. It's a pain in the ass. It's great to record. Well, if it was a good guitar, it would be great to record, but live. So if I want to go from bridge to neck, I have to first go here and then here. Right? This is the split coil and it turns it off. So now I have no sound. And then I have to switch this other one on. And they're so small, right? So if I'm playing it, I'm used to just going like that. And you see me before trying to hit the bridge and I don't have a floating bridge. But if I want to switch, I have to go like this. And then like that. So it's impossible. Can you tell us an exercise that can improve the connection between the guitar and the ear? Wow. Well, at the risk of being self-promoting, please go and watch there are 2 videos. I'm doing a 1-minute guitar series. They're very short 1-minute video. And this week it's about guitar books because I was stuck at home and I couldn't go to the studio. And eventually I'll do them next week again. Probably something about guitar. But there's 2 videos, and I'm gonna give you the exercise right now. But there are many, but those are very useful. Basically, they are in the video. It's called ear training with scales and ear training with Locrian scales. But the idea is this: you pick a scale, and it can be any scale, and you can play the scale and sing the notes against the root. So, right. So first step would be actually, if you can't do this, you have to be able to sing a note. E, right? You have to be able to C sharp. Yeah, you have to be able to sing the note. That's the first step. Now you can tell me if you can do that or not, and I will get going from there. So let me know, Desa, if you can sing a note in pitch. I need to know that to help you out, okay? So let me know, I wait for your answer and then we'll keep going. In the meantime, Jordi, is that you? It is Jordi. ¿Puedes hablar de la estructura de las canciones a la hora de componer? ¿Sigues un esquema habitual o te dejas llevar? Okay, so let me get back to that, Jordi, in a second. So, Desa, you can sing a note in pitch? All right, so that's a lot easier. First of all, distinguish between perfect pitch and relative pitch. Perfect pitch, you usually, or maybe always, if you don't have it, you don't have it. No worries, but you do need relative pitch, which means that from any note, you can sing before you hear it any other note. Right, so if I want to know what whatever note sounds like after this D, up or down, bum 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 bum, right? Da-da. I have to be able to sing all these notes before I hear them. To do that, there are many ways, but the easiest way that I found with people who are starting out, and it's a bit more fun than the other hard stuff, is this. Pick a scale, C major, and because you can sing a note, you can just sing the C. C, and then as you play the scale, C, D, C, E, C, F, C, G, you go through the whole scale singing over the root. And you do it 1,000 times, and then you do it on the way back. Right? Slower than this, of course. You just sing it. And that's what's in the video. And then on the next video, because if you look at this scale, you're only actually playing 7 notes. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. So you're missing 5 of them, right? You're missing the 5 black keys on the piano. So there's a scale that uses all those 5 keys, which is the Locrian scale. So if you sing this scale, in addition to the first one, you'll actually have practiced all the possible intervals. That's a good step, and you know, you don't understand a lot of things about this, I'm sure, if you're starting out, but do it anyway, and do it without even thinking about the results. You do it like 20 minutes, 15, 20 minutes every day. No excuses, it's late, it's too early, I can't sing, I don't want people to hear me. Yeah, great, so you do it for a month, and get back to me, and there's more exercises, but this is the best. Well, not the best, but it is the easiest, and it will help you out a lot. So, Jordi asks about the structure of songs when I compose music, and if I follow a pattern, or if I just let the song evolve. Well, usually I let the song evolve, and I do songs that are more into the rock thing. So I do songs that kind of have a verse and an intro and a chorus, and a solo section. But because it's instrumental, I can't get away with doing the same thing a bunch of times, right? So if I have a solo, often I cannot get away with using the same section as before as a solo. Sometimes I can. And so what I do usually, here's how I compose usually. I get an idea, which could be anything. Usually it's a great melody, or and that usually comes in my head. The melodies almost never come out from improvising. I don't know why. But if I start with the melody, it's in my head, I'm walking around or just at home and I have a melody and that's it. Then that's the main thing. Otherwise, it's a riff, and riffs usually sometimes come out on the guitar, sometimes in my head. But when I have something that's strong, or a chord progression, then that's my first step. So I try to develop that part. I don't worry about structure or sections. I just develop that part of the song as well as I can, right? So I do some bass, I do the chords, and I do the melody. And then I just listen to that part and kind of imagine what would follow. I think we talked about this. What would follow if it wasn't my song, right? If I were just hearing the song by somebody else. And when that's done, then I have 2 sections, right? And then I start seeing like, okay, well, this is the chorus, this is the verse, right? If we want to talk in those terms, sometimes it's not as clear. Like I have a song called The Traveler, which is all over the place, but it still works as a song because you have to be conscious of highs and lows in the song. You have to be conscious of how you start something, you get interest in the thing, and then you let it get to the very, very top of development of the idea, and then you have to be able to cut there and put something else in there. And then when you move away, I do that a lot. I move away by half step, by whole step. I do this strange modulation sometimes in verses or in solos. And then you have to be careful to be able to get back, right? So in the new record, there's a song that's called Eye of the Storm, and it starts with this G minor. How was it? right? Like that. It's kind of a strange, ominous thing in G minor. But then the song starts in A, right? And then it goes to E for the bridge, and you get carried away with that. And then sometimes it's really hard to get back to where you belong. So it's a strange. If you have a specific song, it's easier to talk about than this, right? But yeah, I would just say finish something. The main problem I see with people is they have this idea in their head and they just write it down or record it, but it's not developed. So you should develop a part of a song well enough that you know how it would follow, right? And usually the little bits are the last. So sometimes I do the intro last. Sometimes I do. As a matter of fact, this next song I'm gonna play it right now. Now that I'm kind of warm. And the next song is called Planet 9, and it started with this intro. And I wrote this sitting on a bed. So the harmonics don't work quite as well. But after that, then the whole song was done in a second, because that informed everything. As a matter of fact, you'll see in the solo, if I remember how to play it, there's a spot that reminds you of the intro. So, once you have something that's strong, then you can work everything around it. But you need to develop that part. So this part was finished. And then the rest of the song, if it fits and, if it develops or it just sits there and gets boring. Right? Maybe I'll just play it now and we'll see how it goes. This is called Planet 9. Yeah, let's see if I can hear the count up. And I'll just switch by hand. Okay, I think I'm ready. Wait, sorry, I can't hear the hi-hat. Okay. Right. So yeah, you see, this song, for example, has a thread throughout it, right? It's like the sound and the melodies, you know, they're all different, but they kind of follow this thread. So the solo had to have something different, and it happens a lot. And sometimes what I do is the solo becomes, like, for example, in this song and many others that I play, the solo is an obvious section. Like, it is obvious that this is the solo. But I have other songs where you want the solo to just be a like another part of the song. And there's a song called "Written in the Sand," for example, that I play maybe one day. I have to pull it out and, you know, practice it. But you don't quite know when you're getting to the solo. It's just part of the whole thing. It's like another verse, but it has more notes and it's, you know, it's more dynamic. But yeah, so it depends. But this song has a clear solo section. And the other thing with solos is that if you're in a band and you get your 16 bars or your 8 bars of lead, which I think most of you are in that situation, except for Alex, of course. Which, by the way, Alex, has your record gone on? Has your record gone out on iTunes? And, you know, but unless you are, you know, like Alex or myself, an instrumental guitarist, then you have your section for a solo in a song with your band, and it's different. You know, what you have to do there is different. You have to maybe do something with the song or compliment the singer. But, you know, with what I do, I'm already playing guitar the whole time, right? And even though I try not to do anything strange or too much during melodies because I want them to be, you know, listenable and memorable, that's what I like, the solo sometimes needs to do things. Like, for example, in this one, all these sections, are a trick, right? There's something that is easy to listen to, but it's on a different level, not quality-wise, but guitar-wise. Like, they're more intense, they're more notes, they're faster, but they're still easy to listen to, or at least, you know, they're listenable. Like, you can relate to them, and that's very important with instrumental music. Otherwise, it gets out of hand real quick. You know. Let me see. There was a few things up here. How do I scroll? Oh, there it is. Okay. Awesome, beautiful. Thank you. Okay, Alex, so your record is out. That's what I'm going to do tonight. Actually, I think, isn't tonight the new Satriani record coming out? Well, I'm going to listen to yours first and then Joe's, which John actually mastered Joe's record. So I'm really curious to see, you know, what the master sounds like. Have you practiced before? Hey, Nikos, you are from Greece, right? What city are you from? What city are you from in Greece? Because I love Greece. Are you from Athens or? Okay, have you practiced before or you remember it? What, the song? Can't you tell that I haven't practiced? No, I last night I have my vamps that you hear, the rhythm tracks, and so last night I played over them like a couple of times, maybe, yeah, twice each, because these things, once they get into your memory, you know, your fingers, you know, they kind of stay there. The problem is sometimes you try too hard to access them and you screw up. You mix them up. Besides, especially now that I'm playing a lot, and I'm just playing other things, like studying things and improvising a lot, composing. It all gets mixed up. So I prefer, you know, and you know what? This is terrifying. Playing in front of a screen is the worst. Like, I'm playing and I think, I'm gonna fuck up. Here's I'm gonna fuck up. You know, and it's really hard because when you're in front of somebody, then it's easier because you're talking to, you know, it's a lot easier. It's like when people, like, if you sit in front of a camera and talk to people, it's so hard. I can't tell what you guys are doing. Are you bored? Are you like reading a paper while you're listening to me? You know, and like, I'm imagining all this stuff. Like, nobody's listening. Why am I playing this song? And it's terrifying. It's really hard. I much prefer being in front of a lot of people and play my songs than being in front of a camera. But you know, I try to just play that once or twice. If I know it, I know it. It's not gonna get better, you know, because I practiced this song before for when I played live and also for the recording. So because when I record everything the way you saw me play now. If I can, that's what I do. Of course, if there are different sounds, I would just stop, you know, and do different sections. But when you hear people talk about how they record. I do it all in one take. That's sometimes it's hard to believe or whatever. But if you practiced enough and if you know your songs, so imagine this song. But if I were going to record it, of course I would have worked on it a lot, not twice last night. And that's my preferred way of doing it. I go over the song, or at least as long a section of a song as I can, without doing anything. I usually do 3 takes, and if I can't play 3 takes proper, then I go back and work on the song, because then I don't know the song. And I found that a lot better. I have a friend who records, and he does all these little pieces by piece by piece by piece by piece, and I think, I don't know, I will go crazy. I will go absolutely crazy. I haven't learned how to play the guitar to do that, right? But I understand it if somebody wants to do it that way, and I'm sure there's advantages to it, but I just can't do it. It will drive me crazy. All right, so let's see who else. Oh, you are from Athens. Okay, well, Athens is great. I don't know what area, but I was there actually less than 2 years ago, I think. Beautiful city. Man, I mean, I'm a big fan of Vangelis. How do you pronounce Vangelis in Greek? That's what I would really like to know, because Vangelis and Vangelis, but I'm a big fan of his, and he lives right by the by the ruins, down by the new Athens museum, and I was so tempted to call the door and go like, hey, can I come up and see your CS80? But I didn't do it. But yeah, I love the city, loved it. I thought it was incredible, and wish I could go back. Maybe soon. Who knows? I'll try to get back there. As a matter of fact, I was hoping to do something for this record, with music stores, and then Parker closed, and so there you go. But if I find a brand that is interested, and that is I'm interested in, then I would love to do that. Use that to be able to travel the world in a way that touring becomes pretty hard when you do the music I make. But who knows? Anyway, Nikos, I love your city. Wish I could go back there soon, and I will. All right, so I'm out of songs, I'm afraid. I only pulled out these 2 last night. But if you guys have any questions, or if you want to know anything about any of these songs or other songs, you let me know, and I'll help you out. If not, we can have a short one today. I'm a bit tired. I had a bit of a thing, not the virus, just a little something. And I've been sleeping not too much lately, so I'm a bit tired. Hopefully it doesn't show too much. You didn't know, Parker? Yeah, I sync them. I became their endorser, and I sync them. No, it's true. Parker got, I think in 3 years ago. I think 3 years ago, Parker ceased activity, and then at least 2 years ago, it was clear that they're not coming back. Hopefully, there was talk of another brand buying them, and then maybe moving production somewhere else. Because when I got my Parkers, I think some of the models, like the models they made at the custom shop, they would have cost, I don't know, like $6,000 or $7,000, right? So I understand people who, and even the normal ones, the ones you don't get at the custom shop, if you buy them at the store, I think that when they had them at Thomann and these places, they were like 3,500 euros, right? And they're great guitars. I'm not questioning the price, but having production for something so specific in America, they were in Illinois, great people, great everything. But I do understand the problem when you're building at such a high standard with such high costs, and then you have to sell these guitars in Europe for almost 4,000 euros. It's crazy. But anyway, they had a cheaper line. Never played that. I never played the Asian ones. I heard they're very good, but I never played them. And actually, yes, I did. I did play one, and it was great. It was a great guitar. But then you get to the point where you're like, well, if I'm buying an Asian guitar, maybe I still don't want to spend twice as much as another one. I don't know how it went, but yeah, Parker's gone, and I'm hoping they'll come back. As we talked about last time, I'm still playing them. Not now, but that's just because I'm home. I always play my Parkers. So I don't know what's going on, but for now I'm really happy with them. So I don't see a reason to switch, unless I could go back to Greece and Athens. Hey, AE, do you have any pre-refined Parkers? How do they compare? No, I don't. But as a matter of fact, somebody was asking about the encyclopedia before, and the one you see in the encyclopedia, the dark one, it's blue. It looks black on screen. It's blue, and that's a 90s Parker. And so sound-wise, I like the new ones better. But the difference is though that that Parker was that one was a deluxe, right? And I have Mojos, so they're already a bit different. They have their mahogany and they have different pickups. Plus, my guitars have different pickups still because I asked for specific pickups. So I think they're great guitars, but you know the Pretty Fine one, to me they're a bit. They're like one step further away from a classic guitar, like from a normal guitar. And the new ones, the Mojos and that, and even the deluxe, I have a deluxe of the new ones, and they're a bit more in line with what you expect when you pick up a guitar. It's strange. I don't know. It's hard to explain. Maybe the feel. They're super light, but they're a bit heavier. And I don't know if they're all. A lot of it was handmade. Even if they had a factory, almost all of it was handmade. As a matter of fact, my two guitars, my own guitars, the ones they made for me, they were made as clones. I asked for two exact guitars, the same guitar, and they feel different because a lot of it was finished by hand. So I think I like the new ones better. I think I do. And I know there was a time when there was some trouble with them, like people had problems, but I think that was addressed like a long time ago. So I couldn't tell you the years. I got mine in, I think we had an agreement in 2013 and I got them in 2014, I think. And by the time they were great. They were great. And I don't know if before there were any problems, but if I may suggest, I prefer the new ones. Okay, and maybe the bridge I prefer the old one, but I think they're good guitars. They're great, and now maybe you can find them secondhand. I have no idea about prices though. I'm talking a lot today. It's the lack of sleep. When I'm tired, I talk too much. So feel free to stop me with a comment. But yeah. The new ones are impossible to find. Yeah, I know. I think people are holding on to them because just because you can't buy them anymore, and then you want to keep them. There was quite a market for Parker guitars, and the thing is, the problem with Parker guitars, I think now secondhand, is they're gonna cost you more than new. Maybe, I don't know. I've seen a few of them very expensive, and I don't know if you should do that. Because it's an inflated price, and they were already pricey to begin with, and I understand why they were pricey because I know how they work. I mean, just the paint job on mine. I mean, if you want, I'll go into detail. I don't want to bore you, but the length at which they went to get me those two colors that were impossible to find. As a matter of fact, I have the last two. The last one of each. There are no more solar flares and no more ice bursts after mine. And so, they went to great lengths. They had the best materials, almost on everything. And I can accept that they're expensive then. But when you buy them and you sell them secondhand, I can't get behind spending $6,000 on a Parker right now. But at least if you really enjoy one, then go and play. If it's your guitar forever, then maybe. But otherwise, don't buy them for the investment. I think because somebody will come along with something. And then, maybe somebody will buy Parker and make them in Indonesia just as good as they made them in the States, and they will cost 2,500 euros. Then what are you going to do, right? But what do I know? I have a studio full of shit, so don't listen to me. So, yeah, that's it on Parker. So Alex, tell me about your record. Is it going well? Have you seen any numbers from iTunes? I didn't know it was out. I know it was on Bandcamp. You had it, but I don't have that. So I was waiting for iTunes. So tonight, that's what I'm gonna do tonight. I'm gonna listen to Desafinado's new record. You should do the same. But yeah, did you master everything? Did you do everything? Well, Okay, so I assume it's going great. And you're being gracious. You don't want everything at home, even the master. Wow, now I'm really curious to hear it. All right. What did you use for mastering? Did you use Isotope or something like a package, or did you actually go in with different plugins? I do the mastering in 7 days with the new isotope. So you took 7 days to master? See, that's why I don't do it. It would take me 70 days and it would sound like shit. But congratulations, man. I mean, mastering, wow. I can't wait to hear it. That is because the demo is available for 10 days. Oh, I see. Good. I've done that a few times. I've done it a few times with some UAD plugins. It's fine. That's what the demos are for. So yeah. Well, anyway, I'll check it out tonight. I'm sure it's great. So, do you guys have any questions about recording? Maybe I can help you out with something. You know, if you're producing your own music, you know, if you need a little advice. I've been doing it for a long time. As I said last time, we did the first record right here in this house, in another room. If you have any questions with, you know, recording guitars or, you know, we can do that. Otherwise, we can make it short today and save some questions for next week. There wasn't a lot of you today, but as always, you guys are very nice. And you know, the thing is, I think a lot of people are doing these live things. When I did the first one, it's like and now it's like every hour of every day there's like 50 different musicians doing live streams. So I appreciate you guys being here and not being on Lady Gaga's or something stream. All right, so I assume you guys don't have any more questions. Maybe we'll do it again next week on Thursday. Maybe I'll be able to do it from the studio. I don't know, but it seems like they'll be relaxing a little bit the measures. Even Steve I is doing it now. A lot of live streaming. Oh yeah? Well, that's why there's nobody here. Are they all at Steve I's channel? But yeah, no, I've seen. I just, you know, when I open YouTube, there's like all these people, and on Instagram, and actually on Instagram, there's nobody following me anyway. That's why I'm doing it here. But if you guys, as a matter of fact, if you guys want to share this with people, you know, I don't do the whole subscribe and hit the like button. But if you do want to share it, you know, it will make it more fun if we can have more people in for questions and stuff like that. And I'll play more songs if you guys want. I don't know if you enjoy the songs or just waiting for them to be over so we can ask questions. But if you enjoy the songs, I'll play some more. Maybe I'll pull some up. And yeah, we'll do it again maybe next Thursday or Tuesday. I'll let you know. There's always a post on YouTube. There's a program stream, and then I'll do it on Facebook and on Instagram, so you'll know it. And thanks for being here. I'm gonna wait 30 seconds if you guys have any more questions. Otherwise, we'll stop and reconvene next Thursday. I think Thursday's a good day. Okay, so I don't see anybody asking any questions. Let's see. I took a glance at Studio One. Oh yeah, well I will spend my time just playing guitar. Maybe later. It's not that hard. You just have to try it. Yeah. Anyway, we'll talk about Studio One next time. Maybe not that I know anything about it, but about DAWs and recording. All right. Cool, guys. Well, thanks a lot for being here. And Alvaro, bye. Thanks, Andre. Have a nice. You too. You all have a good day. Thanks for hanging in there. I know I talked too much, and I will sleep for the next one. And if you have any songs you like, let me know, and I'll try to pull them out and see if I can practice them a little bit. All right? See you soon. Bye-bye.